Do you often see repeating numbers on the clock? If so, listen to the next story and hear Zen Master Eshin's teachings about it. Once upon a time, there was a boy named Yuri. Yuri was a skeptical boy who didn't believe in anything. That is, until one day his neighbor Yumi stopped to ask him what time it was, and he answered after glancing at the watch on his wrist. "It's 11:11. Yumi looked shocked, and Yuri couldn't understand the problem. Then she said, "Did you know that seeing identical numbers on the clock means you're on the right path?" Yuri had no idea about this information, but after that day, he began to see repeating times constantly. Every time he looked at the clock, there they were. Sometimes 11:11, other times 10:10, 20:20, 03:03, morning and night, multiple times a day. At first, Yuri was happy with the constant confirmation that he was on the right path. Later, he discovered that different combinations of numbers carried different types of messages. That's how he became obsessed with finding repeating numbers, not just on clocks, but anywhere numbers could be found. He was always searching for them and their interpretations until the obsession became a problem. He started suffering. He was always on the lookout, fearing he might miss an important message from the numbers. He spent time and energy looking for, analyzing, and trying to find patterns instead of doing anything productive. He made major decisions based on the presence or absence of repeating numbers, often making irrational and harmful choices. Eventually, he began to lose his connection to reality, seeking hidden meanings in everything and unable to distinguish natural coincidences from truly significant events. Feeling sorry for him, his mother decided to send him to Master Ishin. And as soon as he arrived at the temple, there they were again, the repeating numbers. The number 11 was everywhere. It felt like he was being pursued by someone eager to send him a message. When he finally met Master Eshin, he felt relieved, and after they sat down, he shared his problem. "Master, please help me. I see repeating numbers all the time, everywhere." The master looked at him puzzled. "And why shouldn't you?" he asked, leaving Yuri at a loss for words. "Repeating numbers are everywhere, just like non-repeating ones." "But it's different, Master. Every time I look at the clock, I see matching digits, multiple times a day." The master sighed. "Again, I'm sure you also see times that aren't repeating when you look at the clock. You just don't pay attention to them and forget you even looked at the clock 2 seconds later." Sometimes, Yuri did see other numbers, but non-repeating numbers held no significance to him, so why would he pay attention to them? "My dear," Master Ishin said, "there are billions of people in the world and only 9 digits. Naturally, they will repeat many times for each of these billions of people. It's logic, pure mathematics. Statistically, the chances of them appearing repeatedly are very high, and our brain loves finding patterns. It's a kind of confirmation bias. When something like 11:11 catches your attention once, you start seeing it everywhere, even if it isn't appearing more than usual. And you want so badly to believe in the meaning of these numbers that you begin to search for them." Yuri told the master he was surprised the explanation was more mathematical than spiritual. "Oh yes," the master said. "There is also the spiritual side. Repeating numbers are often associated with a concept called synchronicity, a type of event that, while not having an apparent causal connection, seems deeply linked by symbolic or subjective meaning, as if they are meaningful coincidences. For example, many people begin noticing 11:11 or 3:33 during times of transition, reflection, or when seeking answers in life. It's like messages from the universe saying you're on the right path or that something needs your attention." Yuri raised an eyebrow. That's exactly what Yumi had told him, but now he wished she hadn't, as it had set him on a terrible path, the path of obsession. The master continued, "Anyway, while some believe these numbers are spiritual signs or energetic alignments, others see them as pure mathematics. Either way, you shouldn't give them too much importance. Otherwise, you'll start imagining many unnecessary things. Patterns are everywhere in nature. Bees build hexagonal hives. Zebras have uniquely patterned stripes. Cicadas emerge in cycles of 13 or 17 years, both prime numbers. Synchronicities, meaningful coincidences, messages from the universe and life. Hidden mathematical patterns, they all exist, and there are many accounts of them. But what else can you do besides appreciate the mathematics of nature?" Yuri reflected. The master was right. The world was full of repeating patterns with hidden meanings, cycles, days, months, years, the seasons. Then the master gave him one final lesson. "Now I will give you some golden tips to keep from getting lost in this sea of patterns again. Remember that coincidences are natural, and not everything needs to have a profound meaning. Recognize repeating numbers as something interesting, but don't let them become the main focus of your life. Use repeating numbers only as reminders to practice mindfulness or gratitude, but don't cling to specific interpretations. And if you notice that paying attention to numbers is causing anxiety or interfering with your life, seek help or redirect your focus to other areas of interest." Yuri nodded and promised Master Eshin he would follow the path the Master had just shown him, he didn't completely stop noticing those synchronicities, patterns, and repeating numbers. He just stopped giving them so much importance. After all, what difference would it make if he knew their meaning or not? The future would happen one way or another, and there was nothing he could do to change it. Besides, surprises were always welcome, like when he ran into Sakura along the way. From then on, whenever he saw repeating numbers, Yuri smiled, remembered Master Aishin, and went on with his life as if repeating numbers were just that, repeating numbers. He was sure that whatever message the universe had, it wished above all for him to be happy and have a calm mind. And you, watching this video, do you also see repeating numbers? Have you experienced this or other synchronicities? Tell me in the comments. Oh, and don't forget to like this video. See you next time.